Okay, welcome. And this is Geo Daily Brief. As we always do, we try to bring you an update on some of the major issues that mostly comes up. That is what mostly we do. So we are here to bring you another breaking news, and it happened around like 12:30, 12 p.m. this afternoon. So we thought it wise to also bring it all, share it with our audience and also our supporters, spectators, and whoever is watching us, because it's really important. So, let me, as we always do, we'll first go through the story. Then after that, we will take some visuals from our partners from ABC and also Fox. That is Fox News. Yeah, that is what we will do. So let's read this story. So at least what we know is that this happened in Hamilton, in New Jersey. One person is dead following two helicopters collided mid-air in Hamilton, New Jersey, on Sunday. It happened just before 12 p.m. near the Basin Road and North White Horse Park. ABC Philadelphia affiliate WPVI confirmed that at least one person has died and another person was injured after two helicopters collided mid-air. Hamilton police said both helicopters crashed, landed, and one engulfed in flames. The FAA released the following statement: an Enstrom F-28A helicopter and Enstrom 280C helicopter collided in mid-air near Hamilton Municipal Airport in New Jersey around 12:25 p.m. local time on Sunday, December 28th. Only the pilots were on board each aircraft. So that was what the police had to bring in. And after that, what I want us to do is also get another side of the story. So let's take this story from CBC so that we will get a more perspective from this. Pilot killed, another injured after helicopters collide mid-air in New Jersey, officials said. Two helicopters crashed in New Jersey in what federal authorities say was a mid-air collision that killed one person and critically injured another. Hamilton Police Chief Kelvin Farrar said rescuers responded to a report of an aviation crash at about 11:25 a.m. This morning, and police and fire crews subsequently extinguished flames that engulfed one of the helicopters. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration described the crash as a mid-air collision between Enstrom F-28A helicopter and Enstrom 280C helicopter over Hamilton Municipal Airport. Only the pilots were on board each craft. One person was killed and another was transported to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries. Video from scene showed a helicopter spinning rapidly to the ground, of which we'll be showing you some of those videos very soon. Hamilton is a town of about 15,000 people located in Atlantic County in the southern part of New Jersey, about 56 kilometers southeast of Philadelphia. The town has a history of agriculture and its location. So we will leave it here. What I want us to watch is watch the first video that came out of this reportage or this coverage. So this is from ABC, but this is a short video that's mostly you see circulating on the social media platform. So let's watch it. After that, we'll come back and give you the more visuals as well. So you see the flames over there. That was a crash, and after that, you would also see how the other helicopter was spinning around. It should be over there. So that was it. That was the first visual that came out. After that, ABC reported this issue. So let's take a listen to how they reported it and some of the visuals they brought it. After that, we will go to the main coverage from Fox as well. So let's take a listen to the reportage from ABC.
News. Police say one person is dead and another is critically injured after two helicopters collided in New Jersey. This happened in Hamilton in the Philadelphia area, and now the FAA and NTSB are investigating. Let's bring in ABC's Rena Roy and ABC News contributor and aviation analyst John Nance for more. Rena, I want to start with you. What's the latest here?
Yeah, well, Ike, what we know at this hour is that only the pilots were on board those two helicopters, according to the FAA, and both crash landed near the Hamilton airport, one of them going up in flames. And we do have some video we want to show you. You can see smoke rising near some buildings. And police say this all happened just before 11:30 this morning. Eyewitnesses telling ABC News they heard a metal clank and then saw the first chopper coming down, followed by the second. So far, no word, Ike, on how and why exactly these helicopters collided midair.
And John, I want to get to you. How is communication between helicopter pilots and air traffic control different? And what will you be looking for as this investigation moves forward?
They're going to be looking for every scrap of information they can find about the situational awareness of both pilots. Helicopter pilots always fly, 90% of the time, fly in visual conditions, so they're watching for each other to an extraordinary degree, much so, more so, I think, than fixed wing. So one of the things they're going to be looking for here is how did these two individuals get to the point that they were able to intersect the helicopters and did not know either one was there or the other was there. Anyway, the idea being here that the situational awareness level of helicopter pilots is usually extraordinarily high. What happened here?
All right, Rena.
So that was a reportage from ABC, getting a perspective from reporters and also perspective from the expert as well. After this, our next visuals, we will take it from Fox. That is when they started filming, or when they started covering this story. This is when it happened. So let's take a look at it.
The Basin Road area of the White Horse Pike, around 206 in Hamilton. So that's some of the latest information that we're getting right now. This happened just a short time ago. And just to show you again on the map where we're talking about in Atlantic County, so Hamilton is pretty much right past some of the county lines once you cross from Gloucester County, Burlington County, and that region right there. So I'm going to widen things out a little bit on the map to give you a feel for where we're talking about right now, in particular in Atlantic County. So first and foremost, I'll turn it back over to Ultimate Doppler radar to give you that context on the map. So Hamilton area, that is just kind of for scale here, as I widen this map out, we're looking at Camden County, Gloucester County. You see Wilmslow right there. That's in Camden County. And then just past there, you come into Hamilton. Atlantic County is a very big county, so we're in the very far western parts of Atlantic County. Now, I'm going to take you back to Google Maps here for just a second. Where this took place is right by this Atlantic Care Health Park. Now, there's speculations that perhaps maybe some of the helicopters had something to do with that medical facility there. Some maybe perhaps that they had a landing port. We don't know all those details. Usually when you have a landing spot for a helicopter, it would show up on satellite view. As of right now, as I look at satellite view, I don't see that here in this medical facility. Generally, it'll have like a big H and you can land a helicopter there. So that's not something I see. I don't know enough about this area right there, but generally it's, oh, you know what? As we take a closer look, okay, so there you go. You see that big H right there on your screen? That would be a spot where you could land a helicopter. So at this medical facility, they do have a spot according to Google Maps, and this was taken, I'm looking at the bottom, in 2025. Usually it actually gives you the month that it was taken. That as of this year, they have been able to land helicopters, and where the helicopters crashed are in a field nearby. As we look live right now from our photographer David, who is there and is kind of getting a feel of what's happening, and I'll show you that live. We're a little bit farther away from where the crash took place. So the crash is around that Basin Road area, and it happened in some fields that are right behind that medical facility. We saw that landing port, that port right there where helicopters can land, and it sounds like right back there was where there was a collision of two different helicopters. And from that collision in Atlantic County, one person has been confirmed that they have passed away. Sounds like there's another person they're taking out of the wreckage. We don't know if there's more people than that involved in this mid-air crash. Now, I was talking to David, who has given us our live picture out of Atlantic County right now, and he was telling me that it kind of got the vibe that the helicopters crashed pretty low. And you can see the picture right there. If you look at the top of your screen, it is cloudy, but it's not like we have fog. So there is some sort of visibility. Not quite sure how this came together. Some of the information that we have right now, as I look at some of the printouts here of what we've been talking to different state police officials out of New Jersey. So officials have confirmed that at least one patient has been located and they're actively being taken out of the wreckage. That's as of a few minutes ago. Crews are continuing to do that search around the area systematically. So kind of grid by grid to look for not only different pieces of wreckage, but also to look, is there anyone else? And you saw a little scroll roll right across there. We're in a neighborhood, and that's where police have blocked it off. And just to give all the emergency management officials plenty of room to do what they need to do. We heard this is kind of like an all hands on deck sort of thing. Some of the folks that go out and fight the firefighters, or I should go say fight the fires in Atlantic County and the Pine Barrens, some of their vehicles have been seen. We see another vehicle right there. It sounds like the coroner had been called to the scene as well, since we do have that one confirmed fatality. So more vehicles coming in to help with the search, to help also kind of just get everything figured out for how this came together. And this is in the Hunter Basin Road area in the Hamilton area of Atlantic County. That's where there's reports of 2 helicopters that crashed. They came down into a field. That field, by the way, sounds like it's pretty much right behind that medical facility that we've been discussing. So back to the maps we go. This is from Google Maps. This is the medical facility. It's called Atlantic Care Hamilton Health Park. I did notice as I zoomed in, because usually if you can land a helicopter, you'll see that pad, the landing pad on the satellite view. That's exactly what we have up from Google Maps right now. This Google map is dated from 2025, and it shows you that as of this year, that is actively a place where you can get medical helicopters to land, right? You see that cross. That's usually a medical symbol, letting you know that this perhaps could be a patient or maybe someone coming to this facility right here. So this is the Atlantic Care Hamilton Health Park. 2 helicopters crash in a field, sounds like right behind the medical facility. Let's take you back live to show you what it looks like at the scene as different emergency vehicles head to where the 2 different helicopters crash. One person confirmed dead. Sounds like there's other people involved. We don't know their conditions right now. At some point just a short time ago, at least one of the person was being pulled from the wreckage. We still don't know if that person is alive or has passed away. So that is the latest, what we have coming into the Fox 29 newsroom. We'll continue to follow this story throughout the day on fox29.com, and we'll have the latest right here on Fox Local and in our later editions of the Fox Evening News that'll head your way at 10 o'clock. Appreciate a moment of your time. I'm Drew Anderson. That's the latest in Hamilton.
So that was early in the morning, or that was somewhere an hour ago. So later we got a shot of the flight, right? So we got a shot of it. So I would want to go there straight and see. Yeah, so there is. I'm sure. I believe. Yeah. So this is the incident. That is the place where it happened. Yeah, so what you can see here is you see security officials and also the FAA, the police cutting up the place. So this is one of the helicopter that was involved in the crash. It's really like it's bent into ashes. So you could see I don't know though, but I'm thinking this one will be the one that the person died, or the pilots died. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So this is really like nothing. You can't see anything over here. Yeah, it's really sad. But let's see if you could get the other shot. I believe you could see that. Yeah, maybe the other one will also come out. Okay, so that is the first one. So yes, this is the second helicopter. Yeah, also cutting off. this is also not in good shape, yeah, because of the crash. Definitely you will see a lot of damages, a lot of, yeah. So this is it. This is another one. The important thing is it was only pilots who were in these helicopters. Not we didn't have any by the side of the pilot. So, but what we can say is one is dead and one is injured at the moment. So we don't know what caused it, as the reporter said, or as the reporter and also the expert said. The helicopters are usually they usually use visual, so they don't really know what really happened. So this is the incident grounds. This is where it happened. So this is the first helicopter, the one which burned into ashes, where the fire service were able to extinguish this and were able to calm down the situation here. But one is no more. One of the helicopters or one of the pilots is no more. So that is what we know now. One is no more. And
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
The other one is also in the hospital. So that is what we know, and that is what we are reporting. And also, yeah, that's what it's been on your, yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So as for now, we don't know any updates. The only updates we know is one is dead and one is in the hospital. Again, what we can also report is that this happened just about some miles away from a hospital. So that's why you could get this. They could transport the other pilots to the hospital that early. So now we have police on grounds, we have the fire service on grounds, we have most of the security personnel on ground, and that is what we can see. Now we wait for the investigation because we don't really know what actually happened. So we are still waiting. We are in the mood of waiting so that we will be able to know what really happened. Yeah, so these are some of the policemen over there. Yeah. So we wait. We are still in the mood. They've not organized any press conference yet, so we are here to wait, as always, because it's important for us to. Let's see. Okay, so I'm getting a shot, or I'm getting this kind of video. This is, Charlie, the thing is serious. This thing is really serious. You can't see anything. So I believe this is the one. The pilot. I'm thinking this is the one we lost the pilot, because there's really nothing that you can write home about. Like, everything is gone. Yeah, when you look at this, we don't have any, like, unless we will look at the red helicopter as well. We will look at the next helicopter and see. Yeah, let's see if you could get that helicopter. Okay, so this is the next helicopter. Okay, so let's see. So here, I think, yeah, so what the wings, what you could see here is the wings. So I'm thinking the wings cause it. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know yet. We wait for what really happened, but you could see, so where it got a lot of damage, or where it got the impact. So this is part of the impact. That's why you don't see anything over here. The wing is totally broken, and even the part where they are sitting. So let's see. We'll get another shot of it so that we'll be able to do a bit of analysis over there. It's really important for us to know what. Okay, so this is what you could see. So this is where the pilot was sitting. Assuming there were any passengers, there would be another passenger, but we only had a pilot. So as you could see, yeah, everything here is gone, totally gone. I'm thinking this is what the person is suffering, like an injury. This is the one. We believe he's been taken to a hospital. It's really scary for helicopters getting accident, because this helicopter and the way they operate, it's scary.
Good afternoon, I'm Drew Anderson. I want to get you up to date on what's happening in Atlantic County. We've been watching live video from Skyfox of a crash of two different helicopters. And as we watched that video, it almost looked like one was a helicopter, the red one that we saw, and the other one looked more like a regular plane to me. But officials have confirmed, as to us right now, that those would be two helicopters. I don't know enough about aviation to say otherwise. So when we looked at the video that came out of Skyfox, that's what we've been streaming with you right here on Fox Local. One of those did not look survivable, the other did. So the one that we looked up was the one in particular that was red. It looked like someone could have walked away for that potentially. We don't know if that's the case. What we do know was there has been one fatality and at least one other person was pulled from wreckage. What the severity of that person's injuries, we don't know yet, but we're certainly going to have that information, and we'll continue to get that over the next couple hours as we head toward the Fox 29 10 o'clock news that you can see on air and right here on Fox Local. I want to set the stage for what's going on. So with that, let's go live to ground level. This is one of our photographers, David. He's giving us a live report. We're not seeing a whole lot of different emergency management, and the reason for that is they asked the media to move back. So here's where we're looking. We're looking at Basin Road. Basin Road is in Hamilton in Atlantic County, in the greater Hamilton area. I'm going to pull up right now a map, and I want to show you where the road's at. You see those blue dots right here on Google Map? This is where Basin Road is, and the crash happened in a field right behind this hospital. This hospital you see right here is Atlantic Care Hamilton Health Park. One of the things I noticed on this satellite view, and this satellite view from Google Maps was taken in 2025, there is a landing pad for a helicopter, and you see the cross, which means that can be a medical related flight. We don't know right now if this was related to the hospital, but word that I'm getting from the field is that those two were pretty low to the ground. So perhaps it may have been from a helicopter leaving. We don't know. But this Atlantic Care Regional Medical Center in the Hamilton area of Atlantic County does have a landing pad. And then right back in a farm field, or a field that you see right there, that's where there was a crash of two different helicopters. We saw the one red one in particular. What we did is, as we take you back live to the ground level view from our photographer that is right there monitoring conditions of this breaking news, we have some information that one helicopter that we saw where it looked perhaps survivable. We don't know the conditions of each folks, that the different folks that were in the different helicopters. We do know that one person has passed away, and that different emergency management officials were pulling at least one other person, or heading into attend to one other person, and they labeled that person as a patient, which implies that person was certainly alive when they were getting. So the red helicopter we saw in some of the live coverage from Skyfox, which is what we've been playing here on Fox Local, that came out. That helicopter is registered, from what we found on the internet, to Carneys Point. That's in Salem County. And in the last sort of, say, year or so, it sounds like there have been at least 12 different reports of that helicopter going on different flights. Because when you fly, you have to make a flight log, it gets filed, and that information is generally publicly accessible. So that red helicopter, the one that looked like it was still somewhat intact, right? We saw the blades on it. We saw the front part of it where you would sit, look like a two-seater helicopter. That's the one that is out of Carneys Point. That's in Salem County. And it sounds like over the last 12 months, that has had at least 8 flights. The other helicopter, the other aircraft that we saw, that was the one that was white. That one did not look survivable if anyone was in it. And certainly since it was flying, there was someone in it. And we do know that there's one confirmed fatality out of this mid-air collision in the Hamilton area. I want to talk weather conditions for just a moment. So for that, let's turn it over to Ultimate Doppler radar. It is a cloudy day, but it's not a foggy day. We're talking to our photographer, David, who's there right now. He's the one giving us this live picture. And you can tell from the live picture, it's cloudy, but there's not fog or anything like that down at the ground. There hasn't been any rain or anything like that falling. And David is in our weather vehicle, so we have live real-time weather information coming from the live report. So you see this live picture that we have right here from the vehicle that's giving us access to that. We have the live weather conditions, and here's what the weather conditions are like right now in Hamilton. So the wind is light, so it doesn't sound like the wind's a factor, and the wind's been light throughout the day. It's coming out of the west at about, it's in knots. I'd have to convert 5 knots to miles per hour, but you get in the general vicinity, it's 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that's kind of been some of the weather information we have right there. And as we go back to Ultimate Doppler radar, as that reloads, we'll show you that it's just kind of a cloudy day. The area that we're talking about is right here. So here's Hamilton. If you're not familiar with Atlantic County, that's just past Camden County. So you're looking at Gloucester County and Camden County as these two counties on your left, that is, and to the west right there. And then as soon as you cross into Atlantic County, that's where Hamilton is. Atlantic County is a pretty big county, so it's in the western part of Atlantic County where we had a crash of 2 different aircrafts, one being a helicopter. They're both being labeled as helicopters for sure. Here's the information that we have that's been confirmed by a state trooper from New Jersey. So emergency crews have been responding over the last hour to a fatal aircraft incident involving 2 helicopters, again, according to them. And it's reports that they've crashed where we're looking right now near Basin Road. That's in the area of Whitehorse Pike and Route 206. So throughout Atlantic County, different firefighters, EMS, and law enforcement folks have been there. Earlier, the officials said that at least one patient, so one person, had been located and had been actively being taken out of the wreckage. As we were looking live from Skyfox, we saw there was no other people in the wreckage or anything like that. So that's one person. We don't know the condition of that person that was taken out, at least at that point, alive. It certainly looks survivable in the red helicopter, but we don't know these facts just yet. We also do know that one person has passed away from that crash of 2 different aircrafts, 2 different helicopters in Atlantic County in the Hamilton area on Basin Road. And that, by the way, is this area. So here's our kind of weather conditions, talking about the winds. It happened just in the back of this facility right here, the Atlantic Care Health Park. And notice that they do have this landing pad for helicopters. We don't know if they were taking off or landing, if that's involved, if it's coincidental. But notice they can land helicopters from a medical standpoint right there on that landing pad. And this Google satellite image is active, and a picture from 2025, so this year. And the crash happened in the farm field, sounds like right behind the Atlantic Care Hamilton Health Park, so in this area right here. Where we're seeing our live picture right now is this street right here. This is Basin Road, just to kind of get you oriented, and that's where we're looking at this live picture. And the emergency management officials kind of pushed us back from the field where we've had that live picture from Skyfox. So that is the latest right now in Hamilton, New Jersey, in Atlantic County. 2 helicopters have collided. It sounds like they collided low in the sky, and they've fallen into that field. It looked like one was survival. It looks like the other was not. One person confirmed dead. Another person was taken out of the wreckage. That person's condition unknown. We don't know if there was other people involved. That's some of the information that we'll be working to get and have that update for you tonight on the Fox 29 10 o'clock news on air right here on Fox Local. We'll continue to update fox29.com with the latest information. So at this point, we're going to take you now to live raw footage from Skyfox. So you're going to see the latest as Skyfox goes around the farm field. We're going to see the 2 different helicopters. The red one, that was the one that came out of Salem County, or at least is registered to Salem County out of Carneys Point, had 8 flights in the last year that have been on the logs. And that other one, that white one, and there's not much to it. What police and emergency management officials have been doing is they've been doing a systematic search of the area, sort of grid by grid, looking for debris as well as looking for perhaps any other people that may have been in those different aircraft. So that's something that they're working right now, just to kind of give you a feel. So at this point, we will take you back. Oh, before we go, let's see what this is right here. This just came from David, and I see David's just kind of getting things up. Oh, okay, it looks like they're moving. I know that guy, Jake, that other photographer right there. He, by the way, is someone who works for another station. We've been looking at this crash right here on Basin Road. Well, it's just off of Basin Road. It sounds like it's right behind the Atlantic Care Hamilton Health Park in the Hamilton area of Atlantic County. Sounds like it happened in a field just back there. So at this point, we're going to take you back now, right here on Fox Local, to our Sky Fox video showing you the sights from above the ground. I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much.
Want the fastest?
So this is another one. This is a closer look at it. This is what you could see, because as I told you earlier, this is really like totally out of hand, like bent into ashes. We don't know yet, but as I said earlier, I'm thinking this is what we lost the pilot to, because you can't see anything over here. We can't see anything. This is a closer look at the helicopter, like one of the helicopters, the white one. Yeah, this is the 280 MG. Yeah, this is it, and really, you can't see anything. It's totally gone. So, it'll be very hard to find someone surviving this kind of accidents, but we don't know. We pray he's not the one. But what we know now is one is totally dead, and one is really in critical condition in the hospital now. So we see. So what you could see, the security personnel going into it, taking details of the helicopters, and this is the second helicopter, the one in red. For a bit of the second helicopter is a bit like, so the first one is called off, and what you could see here is the personnel discussing what they saw over there, and I think they are waiting. So yeah, he went over there very close to the place. So what you see is Atlantic County Emergency Services. Yeah, you could see their van over there, and you could see the police, the fire department just around the corner, making sure everything is okay. These are all the security personnel, so it's not a big take. Okay, so what you could see, okay, so the personnel are looking for, I think they are looking for evidence. So you see, so picking some evidence, some of the security personnel. So this is where all the investigation starts. So they've cordoned off the place for the security personnel, for the investigators to get a first-hand view of what really happened and to investigate it. So the first person or the first guy went in. He even went very close to this helicopter. So he's taking pictures of the helicopter, the totally bent helicopter. Okay, yeah, the police over there. Here's some of the live videos from the section where this thing happened. So
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet,
so I'm scanning around to get more videos or more information on this. If you have any updates, that will be good, because so far what we know is that, okay, hold on. Still is as the old information that I gave you earlier. That's what we have. So still one man dead and one injured, and this helicopter is totally out of hand. Like, it is really bent into ashes, right? So we can't see anything. This is a closer look at the helicopter. It is totally bent into ashes. Yeah, so you can't see a lot of what you could see are just the metals. It's really bent. Yeah, this is really bent. So investigators are really doing their work, getting information so that they could start the investigation. I think that is what they've started. So this is it. This is one I was talking about. It's going to be very difficult. Yeah, because this helicopter is totally bent into ashes. you could only see the it's you can't get even if you have any something important in this helicopter, you are not going to get it. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so I believe this is where time would allow us, and this is where time will permit us to bring you this update. We hope authorities can get us a press conference, a press release, so that they could at least explain what really happened. And we don't know the cause as for now. What we know is one person is dead, one person is in critical condition, who has been sent to the hospital, nearby hospital. So we wait. I believe maybe by tomorrow we could get an update on this issue, this helicopter crash in New Jersey. So we wait. We pray that the one who was in critical condition get back on his feet, because it's very important. We pray that we don't mix, or we don't lose people. But if the person is not feeling well, we pray that he gets well very soon. And that is what we have for you this afternoon. These are some of the news making headlines, and we thought it wise to bring it to our listeners, our audience, and our supporters as well. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and just like it for us and share it as well. And if there's any feedback, you can also give us any feedback that you want. If there's something you don't like about it, just tell us. We could learn from it, and also be that going forward, because that is the most important part of the job. We are always learning on the job. So if there's any updates, you could just leave it in the comment section. We would work on it and do the most important thing, correct it from here. So thank you. See you very soon. We don't know, maybe this evening or tomorrow, but hey, see you soon. If there's any update on this, or if there's anything that we need to bring you, we will update you. Thank you. See you maybe tomorrow, this evening, or Tuesday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance as well. See you.